Hey guys, in this video we're going to take a look at React's add-on CSSTransitionGroup, which is a really easy way to add some animation to your React application. So I've got a really basic application here on the left. It's called slides. In our initial state we return current slide set to 0 and then this array of slide objects. Next slide just sends us back to the first slide if we get past the end. And then our render, we figure out which one is the current slide and render out this very basic HTML. You can see it here on the right. When we get to the end, it goes back to the beginning. So now what I want to do is I want to animate those slides. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring in the CSS transition group. I'm just going to assign that to a variable called CTG. And then down here in my rendered output, I'm going to wrap that in the CTG tag. And here in the CTG tag, I'm going to set a transition name. I'm going to call that slide. Now this is going to tie directly to a CSS class. So over here in the CSS, we're going to create a few classes. The first one's going to be slide enter. And this is going to be very, very familiar to anyone who's done any work with ng-animate. This is heavily inspired by ng-animate. So now we've got slide enter active. Now enter is going to be where our component first enters the DOM before it's actually been animated. So here we're going to have these slide in from the top. So I'm going to say top is minus 200 pixels. I'm going to add a transition all half a second. Now on our interactive, we're going to get that where we want it to be. So I'm going to say top 5 pixels. Now when we want to leave, we're going to use slide-leave. And again, this is tied to that transition name. So whatever we set the transition name to be is going to be right here before the -leave, -enter, and so on. So here we're going to start at our enter active position. And then we're going to have slide, leave, active. And this we're just going to, so we're going to slide this out to the bottom. And on our leave, we're going to add in our transition, and when we actually exit, we're going to set our opacity to 0. Okay, so let's take a look at this really quick. So now this actually isn't going to work, but I just want to show you this really quick. You know, it has not taken effect, and the reason is that when you're using CSS transition groups, whether you're animating a single item or an array of items or whatever it is, your component has to have a key. So I'm going to give this a key of, I'm just going to say math.random, save that, reload, and now we've got our animation.